This episode, we start tackling the basement floor in our Victorian renovation. We remove 60 tons of soil from the basement and start getting it to a point where we can build it back up again. Before we could get started, a quick tidy up was required, and the small job of ripping out the old bathroom. Through the door here should be a bathroom. Now, no bathroom, no shed, no wall, but a big pretty decent size. Nice fireplace, but I'll have to get covered up, unfortunately. Nice job. This pile of rubbish was actually the rubble from the internal walls that we'd taken down, putting the steel in, and also between the bathroom and the shed. It had been put by the back door because at that point we didn't have a driveway to pile rubble up on, but it did eventually get put on driveway, and we had to get this moved so that we could ensure we had access for the digger into the basement. Okay, just a quick video of the steel going in for the patio doors. Pad stones are in. One side. Other side. Got a good 180, 185 mil overlap. And then this side, just the same, 184. Packed with slate. Packed with slate on top as well. That was not quite in place. Yeah, packed with slate, and then start to fill out the bricks over the top. That access would be in the form of creating a double door in the end of what will be the kitchen to allow for as much natural light as possible, but also access to get the digger into the actual basement. So the concrete in the old basement floor was all smashed up just with a sledgehammer, and being honest, I wouldn't do this again. It was back-breaking work, even though in places the concrete was only about 1 inch thick. In other places it was more like 6 inches thick. And in this particular room, in what was the bathroom, there was actually a damp-proof membrane underneath, so it was in pretty good condition. However, underneath that damp-proof membrane, and the concrete, there was some pretty significant voids where the ground had effectively sort of dropped, and that was just due to poor preparation. It was directly onto soil which was full of clay. There was no type 1 or any kind of compaction before it was put in. This pile on the driveway was one of many. We filled the driveway approximately 5 times, requiring a total of 7 grab lorries. We got very little footage of actually digging the basement out, because I'll be honest, I was doing it all on my own, and it was so muddy and just not pleasant work. It was just a case of getting it done as quickly and as efficiently as possible. But we then got to a point where we could get some type 1 back in here. And this was the first layer going in 2 separate layers, and the first time it got compacted. We used a total of 20 tons of type 1 to get approximately 120 mil into the basement. Okay, so back in the basement this morning, and time for an update. The last couple of days, I've been digging out the light well, which is up in this eastern side of the property, in order to make the window quite a bit bigger and allow a lot of natural light to come through into the basement. Reason for that is because the front of the property is eastward facing, and so the light in the morning comes belting through that window there. So it's about twice the size it was before. Back in the basement then, so where are we at? We've got some type 1 on the floor. So we've got about 120 mil of type 1 on the floor. That's all being compacted and leveled. And we've got about 80% of the tanking membrane on the walls. But before I can finish that, this is today's job over in the corner. So today's job then is to tackle this window area. It's already a decent sized window, but what we'd like is to have effectively a full height window from just above finished floor height to just below ceiling height to let as much natural light in as possible. So today's task is effectively to take out the bottom of this window all the way down to effectively floor height. So finished floor height will come up about 150 mil from where the floor currently stands, with some insulation and some screed. So we'll have a nice big window here, letting as much light in as possible. But why do I need to get this out today? Well, basically, I need to get a full window measurement sorted out so I can then order the windows. And to do that, so I need to get rid of this bottom bit. It's also important because the tanker membrane needs finished, and that'll come round, and the actual tanker membrane will seal to the window frame in the new window, and then continue round to finish it off. So I need to create a nice good seal on the window here so that the whole room is effectively waterproofed.
The joys of living down a narrow lane. From here to here. The sand has got to come back another day because we are not hauling it from there down to there. 20 wheelbarrows full. Here he goes, gonna get involved. He loves it. Look at him. gonna go.
After a few combined shuttles, we soon had it safely in the basement, and it was back to try and get this window finished off. Once I finished getting the opening done, I then poured a concrete base to provide a good platform in order to build up a couple of layers of breeze blocks to the desired window height. I actually ran out of cement this evening and it was clearly getting quite late by how dark it was outside. But I did actually end up doing 2 courses of blocks side by side.
You have got a mic on, so you don't need to shout as much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So today's job then, I'm shouting. Start again. The window, so it'll start. The window will start about that height, and then wrong. No, it won't. No, it won't do that. Won't do that. Talking nonsense. Next time we were laying the floor insulation and getting stuck into some underfloor heating pipe work. See you then.